So let's talk a little bit about our good friends, the Minnesota Vikings. You know, they're 1-3. They just beat the Houston Texans. And when they played last week, both teams 0-3. Now the Vikings are 1-3. Texas is 0-4. Bill O'Brien out. But I want to talk let's just talk about that last game there a little bit. Kirk Cousins had better protection. Our offense did better overall. It all begins with that line, of course. But when Kirk Cousins can sit back, he's a pocket passer. When he can sit back, he's very precise. He'll pick you apart with his passes, right? I mean, we didn't win the game by much. It took almost a last-minute super catch, almost catch by the Houston Texan receiver that when he hit the ground, the ball bobbled. It hit the ground. So good call by the refs, but it was that close. Otherwise, perhaps a tie. A couple things. Kirk Cousins, when he has time and he can go to his reads and his progressions, he's super duper accurate. He's not the best scrambler out there, right? We all know that. If there's pressure, he might hang on to the ball too long, take too long, whatever. He's getting a little better this year about running around, running out. He's always been good in kind of the rollout play action. But when he feels the pressure, I know the coaches are working with him. Get out of that dang pocket and do something with those feet. You can make plays. And he's doing a little more, so I'm going to give him credit. He still falls into the trap of hanging on to the ball too long, whatever, but half the time it's because he hasn't even got time to hang on to the ball too long. He's under pressure right away. Boom. But this game, the line held up well. Dalvin Cook, 130 yards and 30 or 40 yards catching. Thielen and Justin Jefferson each got 100, so the tight ends weren't involved much in this game. I think Rudolph had like 1 catch or 2 catch or whatever, and Irv Smith had nothing. I think next week against the Seattle Seahawks, they're going to have to involve those tight ends. You got a big tight end with a radius, another guy that's a tight end / basically a third receiver if you want him. So, and I think the Seahawks are going to present the challenges. We're going to have to get the ball out quick. They're a better rushing defense, better overall, better linebackers in Houston. Get that ball out quick. Use every resource we got. Spread the ball, spread the salt around. So, what I want to talk about, well, first of all, I've got people I know that think that Dalvin Cook he's okay. No, he's not just okay. He's great. 130 yards this week, 180 last week against the Colts, who are doing very well this year. And did you see him bounce off those tackles and break arm tackles and just create plays and yardage and touchdowns on his own? So when he gets the ball, he might get a hole, then he gets hit. It's the yards gained after hit that makes all the difference, and he's good. And you get him in an open field, you're not going to catch Dalvin Cook, and he can catch a pass. So, please don't tell me that he's average. He's way more than average. And the money they're paying him, I know the NFL doesn't like paying the big money to the running backs. It's a receiver first, a pass first offense, all these different options. Quote unquote, the value of the running back has been devalued, but name one good team that's really doing well that doesn't have some good running backs. Either a guy like Dalvin Cook or run by committee. You take your pick. Take the Patriots. Run by committee. Yeah, I rest my case. Running backs are valuable. So, again, I give credit to Kirk Cousins. He's still not like an Aaron Rodgers or Cam Newton. By the way, the Bears are having all these quarterback difficulties. Now Nick Foles is taking over from Mitch Trubisky. No shock there. I'm surprised it didn't happen earlier. And I was wondering, why did the Bears go after Foles when Cam Newton was on the market? Cam Newton seems like a better fit for the Matt Nagy type of high-flying, Sean McVay-ish type of offense that he likes to run. You need a quarterback that's mobile and quick and all that. Newton would be the perfect fit over Foles. And Foles reminds me a lot of Sam Bradford. He's quick, he's smart, he's accurate type of thing. But it seems, again, Cam Newton's a better fit than Nick Foles. Until I read where John DeFilippo, I hope I'm saying the name right, is the offensive coordinator for the Bears. And they go way back. Him and Foles goes back to the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl when he was the quarterback's coach. So he knows them well. So basically the Bears bringing Foles in, I'm not saying it's a totally bad pick, is because of the familiarity and the relationship between Foles and John DeFilippo. So that makes sense. But personally, I think Cam Newton, Bears should have gone after him. It's no surprise that Mitch Trubisky is on the back burner right now. He has traditionally struggled, and I would be surprised if they go back to him. Anyways, back to the Vikings. All right, let's talk about Justin Jefferson. Oh my God. No, Stephon Diggs leaving was a big deal, and he's been nothing but a blessing for the Buffalo Bills. I wish him and the Bills well, and by the way, they are doing well. They're 4-0. Type of thing that Josh Allen to Stephon Diggs is a good combo. But Justin Jefferson, you heard all the stuff. Oh, training camp, he's behind. He's not doing as well as the coaches hoped. You know, he's just not picking up the offense as well. Well, I think he dispelled those rumors in the last 2 weeks. He's about the size of Stephon Diggs. He's what, 6'1"? He's got an athleticism about him, and I'm just going to compare him straight up to Stephon Diggs. When he goes for those contested balls, wow, he's got hands of glue. Remember Jack Tatum back in the 70s with the Oakland Raiders? You know, the safety, they call me assassin. That's when you could hit players any old way you want. He would just deck players. They'd go up and just smash them. But he was known for his interceptions. He had gloves, and then he had stickum. He put stickum type glue on his hands, which is legal then, not now, but then, which should help him catch the ball better. And then he was just murderous, no pun intended, on those receivers cutting across the middle. And that's why they call him Assassin. He wrote a book called Jack Tatum, They Call Me Assassin. Well, Justin Jefferson has the hands of Jack Tatum, with Jack Tatum having stickum. That guy, that ball sticks to his hands like glue. He's just got the regular gloves like Thielen, and I'm sure the NFL has strict protocols of what you can wear in your hands. But he's got the hands of glue as though they got stickum. And that's where Laquan Treadwell, and he's got moxie and swag and confidence. And he's quick and he's speedy and he's a deep threat. He's a short threat, a run after the catch threat. I'm impressed. I mean, wow. I think we got our Stephon Diggs hole filled. And now teams can't put so much pressure on Adam Thielen. By the way, did you see Adam Thielen try to imitate Stephon Diggs with the little jig and the dance and then the ch-ch-ch-ch? I get a kick out of that. I like that little jig and then ch-ch-ch-ch. Anyways, yeah. So I think in Minnesota, and Kirk Cousins even said, don't know why it took him this long. Wow, that guy can play football. Yeah. And now you got two good receivers. So against Seattle, you got Thielen and Jefferson. You need to get Rudolph involved. Cook, of course, will be involved. And I like that Gary Kubiak, the first couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks were rough with all these safeties, and we weren't using Cook as much. We weren't mixing it up. Last couple of weeks, I know we lost to the Titans, but barely, and that's another good sign. Crunched by the Packers, beat up by the Colts, super close. We improved a lot against the Titans. We had chances to win that game. And then, yes, I know the Texans. It's, you know, people say, the commentators will say, wow, is the case of the Vikings improving or the Texans just sucking? And people say, well, it's the Texans sucking. Sorry, guess what? You got to beat the teams you got to beat. And the Vikings did it. Our defense is still kind of a weak spot. We have a lot of young corners, a lot of young safeties. I think they need to get Todd Davis in there, a proven commodity, in more as linebacker. By now, he should be picking the system up after a couple weeks. You don't let a talent like that sit on the sidelines. Get him out there. We need him out there. And our cornerbacks is stepping up. Speaking of cornerbacks, by the way, Xavier Rhodes is having a really great year with the Colts. Perhaps just a change of scenery. He's been battling injuries. Who knows why? I mean, when a player gets injured and doesn't do as well, and let's take Dez Bryant as an example, they say, oh, he's not the runner he used to be. He's not the cornerback he used to be. He's not the receiver. All of a sudden they run bad routes. They can't cover Sister Mary, you know, that kind of thing. But those injuries take a toll, and you don't like to use them as an excuse, but an injury will slow you down. So it's good to see Xavier Rhodes. He's got the talent, and he putting it on display for the Colts. So the Viking defense, we're leaky. It looks like Danielle Hunter is going to be out longer than we think. The injury is more serious than Zimmer portrayed. Oh, it's just a tweak. Turns out it's not quite just a tweak. Hopefully he can get back, though. Get a second opinion. They get a game plan. Apparently he's got a herniated disc in the neck. Don't want to mess with it. Don't want to mess with it. It's not worth it. Make sure 100% before he comes back. But we got the new guy from Jacksonville, the Ngwagwe, and I can't say his name. We got Wanham. We got actually quite a fair amount of defensive linemen. I mean, Michael Pierce said no because of COVID virus this year. Got to respect that. Got to respect it. And we got an okay group of linebackers without Barr. Put Todd Davis in, type of thing. And, you know, and I totally disagree with Harrison Smith being ejected from the game. He wasn't taking off, wasn't head first, body square to the guy. He was lowering his shoulder, and it's the physics of the situation. The bigger guy bent down to get the ball, and the heads ended up at head level with one guy bending down, the other guy bending down. So I am glad the NFL has come to the senses of not going to suspend him. I don't think he should have been kicked out of the game. Go ahead, the violation head-to-head, quote-unquote defenseless receiver, but it's grossly unfair to the guy who's lowering his shoulder and his head and his body, and the heads happen to hit to throw him out of the game like that. If it was an intentional, vicious hit, a track record of that happening, which he does not have, I'd say, okay, do it, but come on. Anyways, yeah, so let's see what happens against Seattle. How come we always end up playing in Seattle? When do we ever play them here? We're always there. Now, the good thing is they don't have their fans in the 12th player, so it's more even, but still, we're there. Anyways, the key is success for next week against the Seattle Seahawks. Viking line has to give Kirk Cousins protection. If Cousins is feeling the pressure, don't hang on to the ball so long, and get out of that pocket and use your legs. You're doing better. Keep it up, Kirk. Keep it up, Kirk. Keep it up, Kirk. And one good thing about Kirk Cousins, when he blows it, botches it, whatever, he seems to learn from it and move forward, and I like that. We got Thielen and Justin Jefferson. Watch out. And then on top of that, we got two great tight ends, two really good tight ends. So use them. We got us in Dalvin Cook, Madison. Spread the ball out. Maybe Chad Beebe will be healthy enough and he'll make a difference. Spread the ball out. Don't let Seattle get in a rhythm on defense. Stay on the field, wear them down. And their defense will have to, hopefully the younger guys will learn from their experiences, come back strong, because Seattle's a handful offensively with Russell Wilson, Metcalf, you name it, they've got it. So, Sports Blabb, over and out.